Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Church of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the All-Timers program. Essentially, this came out today. It allows you to unlock 4 diamonds that are 96 overall and above, 2 of them which are 99 overalls, which includes a Cy Young Tom Seaver, as well as a 99 overall MVP Babe Ruth. The way this program works is it's much like the Vlad Guerrero Cintra Series program from last year. We're going to have to play every single MLB team, as well as each of the divisions, and the American League, National League, and I believe an overall MLB all-time team. Along with taking a quick peek at the moments, which I kind of already explained, and if you're familiar with the Cintra Series Vlad Guerrero reward last year, that was a program. It's very similar to that where you do all of those moments. As for this program path, we're going to go over each individual place on the path, as well as the 4 cards that I mentioned that you can unlock. I'm going to give them a proper Chewie review, and a relatively in-depth review comes with that of each of the cards and what I think about them. Also, guys, before we get into going over this All-Timers program, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below what you guys think about this program, as well as share this video. That way we can continue to grow the community. I appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. Let's get into it. So for the moments for this All-Timers program, like I said, you have to play all 30 of the teams, and as you'll see, they are worth 2 program points a pop, and you have to play them on All-Star difficulty with your Diamond Dynasty team in a 3-inning game. You just have to win the game. On top of playing this game, you'll get 400 stubs as well as 1,000 XP on top of the XP for playing the game. While you're doing this, you will also unlock some program stars. For every 3 innings you play, you get a program star. So by going through this, you can kind of knock out some other things, such as unlocking the program bosses if you haven't unlocked them yet, or just getting some of the rewards along the 6-inning program's reward path. So unlike the Vlad Guerrero program last year to unlock the Cintra Series card, you kind of had to wait to complete all 30 of the teams. In this program, you don't have to wait. If you want to just jump ahead and play the divisions, you can, but you have to play all 6 of the divisions. They're going to be 4 points each, and these are going to be on Hall of Fame. So these games will be a little bit more difficult. They are 6-inning games instead of 3-inning games. Still with your Diamond Dynasty team. Whenever you're playing the computer on Hall of Fame, what you're going to have to do whenever you're playing these 6 divisions, the American League, National League, and there's an all-time greats team period, which is all of the baseball players in the history of the game, is just be patient when you're hitting. Look for pitches that you can hit. Kind of sit on fastballs, whether they're high or low. I promise you the computer will throw you a plethora of fastballs. When you are pitching to the computer on higher difficulties, do not try to gun fastballs past them. If you're going to throw fastballs, throw them low. Work a lot of sliders, changeups. Keep the ball nice and low like you're trying to pitch in real life. This isn't online play where you can just pound the fastball up in the zone and guys will swing and miss. I promise you, if you throw enough high fastballs, the computer will jack you for at least 1 home run a game, if not 2 or 3, and they really pry on your mistakes. So try to throw the changeup below the zone, like aim it maybe halfway below the zone so that if you do miss and it goes high, it's going to be at the bottom of the strike zone. If they don't swing at it, they don't swing at it. If your pitch count ends up getting run up, that's fine. You can use all of your starters. You can use all of your bullpen. It's just a singular game. The energy doesn't matter. So don't worry about throwing too many pitches. Just throw very careful. Don't throw the ball in the strike zone too much. Make the computer chase. When you get down in the count 3-1, still keep the ball low. Throw even fastballs low at the corners. Do not try to throw stuff center mass. You're not playing another user. The computer's a little bit more finicky, and when you make mistakes, they will punish you on the Hall of Fame difficulty. Now that we've gotten the moments knocked out of the way, let's go through this reward path real quick. And on our way through it, I will go over each of the cards whenever we get to them. I believe they're at 25-point intervals since there are 4 cards. So at 5 program points, you're going to get a show pack, 100 XP. At 10 points, you're going to get 2 show packs, 500 stubs. At 15 points, you're going to get a Balling as a Habit pack, which is going to guarantee you a gold or better player. At 20 points, you're going to get this universal nameplate that looks like it's supposed to be some sort of old leather type of nameplate, and 500 stubs. At the 25 program points, you're going to get this 2009 Gold Glove Evan Longoria, 95 overall. Let's up in here and give him a Chewie review. Evan Longoria. So the first actual card on this reward path for this All-Timers program is the third baseman from the Tampa Bay Rays. 2009 Gold Glove, Evan Longoria, 95 overall. Right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. I am not really sure why he's part of the all-timers. He's not really like an all-time player. He actually still plays in the league for the San Francisco Giants, so I'm not sure why he's part of this program, but I'm actually a huge fan of Evan Longoria, and he had a heck of a year early on in his career. He does have no secondary positions for his card, as he only played third base and he DH'd some on the Rays that year. He has diamond hitting and diamond defense. Looking at his statistics from the 2009 season, besides winning the Gold Glove, the Silver Slugger, and being an All-Star, he batted .281, had an on-base percentage of .364, had a slugging of .526, had an OPS of .889, an OPS plus of .133. He hit 33 home runs, had 113 RBIs. He had a 7.0 WAR, and a fun fact for that year, he led Major League Baseball and grounded into 27 double plays. My man was a double play machine. Not really a good stat to have. I just thought it was kind of quirky that he had led the league in double plays that he grounded into. So he could have even had a better year if he wasn't grounding into so many double plays. Because if you take even half of those and turn those into doubles, which he had, I believe, over 30 doubles that year, and you hit a couple more doubles, you talking about getting an extra RBI here, your OPS is a little bit higher, but instead he grounded into 27 double plays. Just a fun fact for that year. I don't know if that'll ever be a trivia question or not, but just something that I thought was cool. So those are his stats for the 2009 season. Let's get into his attributes that are on the card. He has 88 contact versus righty, 94 contact versus lefty, 92 power versus righty, 86 power versus lefty, 70 vision, 90 discipline, 108 clutch. In the field, this card's actually very good. He has 95 fielding, 92 arm strength, 93 arm accuracy, 88 reaction with 60 speed, 45 ceiling, and 27 base running aggressiveness. So I actually like how good this card is defensively. It makes sense. It was a Gold Glove winner that year, but man, 95 fielding with the good arm strength, great reaction. He's going to be a shutdown third baseman. Now, does he have the best bat? Not really. The 70 vision at this point in the game and the lower contact isn't really too appealing, but he does have 86 plus power, which means he will have some pop at third base. He's definitely a great for free, low budget card. If you want to make a Gold Glove theme type of team, he could be your third baseman on that team. Popping into his quirks real quick, he has hitting machine, bomber, walker, soft hands, quick reflexes, cannon, sniper, pressure cooker, unbreakable. So he has some good quirks. He obviously has the defensive ones. I really like quick reflexes for a third baseman. The hitting machine, bomber, and walker are the big three quirks that I always talk about that are my favorite. Overall, this Evan Longoria at this point in the game is not the best third baseman you could possibly get, but he is for free. It doesn't really take that much to get him. You're just going to have to play, what would it be, 13 games against different teams, which it seems like a lot, but they're 3 inning games. It's really not that bad. And you get some other rewards along the way. On top of the fact that he is good defensively, has decent pop, I'm going to give this Evan Longoria 3 Chewies. The fact that he's for free, very good defensively, and I think at third base, sometimes defense is almost hidden in a way in this game. However, I think defense really wins a lot in this game. Defense and power, I think, are the two most important things. Having a contact guy is great. I think Longoria has enough power to do something significant. He has a pretty good swing, great defense. We're going to sit him at 3 Chewies at this point in the game. So once you unlock Evan Longoria, the next step is 30 points, and you get 3 The Show Packs. At 35 points, you get 2,000 stubs, 2,500 XP. At 40 points, you're going to get a Balling as a Habit pack. At 45 points, you're going to get 2 Random Headliners packs from sets 1 through 31, as well as 2,000 XP. And then at 50 program points, you unlock the next card, which is a 96 overall Signature Series Trevor Hoffman. This card is going to look a lot like the card that he had last year. Let's pop in and do his Chewie review. Trevor Hoffman. So this is the second Diamond Trevor Hoffman that is in MLB The Show 20. This will be the best version of Trevor Hoffman that you see, and this is the Signature Series 96 overall closing pitcher for the San Diego Padres, Trevor Hoffman, and he is right-handed throwing, right-handed batting. He has a 5-pitch repertoire that has a primary pitch of a circle change. As you guys know, Trevor Hoffman always threw a nasty circle change. It was his money pitch. It was his strikeout pitch. It was his go-to pitch. Everything about Trevor Hoffman and how successful he was relied on that circle change. As well as a circle change, he is going to throw a 4-seam fastball, a cutter, a slider, and a curveball. He has great pitch speed differential. His fastball is going to go about 96. You're going to get a circle change that goes 73 and a curveball that goes about 74. He has a slider and cutter, which are also very important pitches in this game, as you guys know. For Trevor Hoffman's career, he has a win-loss record of 68 and 75, an ERA of 2.87, an ERA plus of 141. He has 601 saves. He has 1,133 strikeouts, a whip of 1.058, a 28 WAR, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2018. Now, most closers don't have a large WAR because they only come in at the end of the games. A good closer can make a big difference when it comes up to closing games, but being a closer is really about opportunity. If your team stinks, you're not going to get opportunities to save games, and therefore they are not as important as some other players. So that's why he has a pretty low WAR for his career, even though he's a Hall of Famer. He also has a losing record. A lot of closers have losing records because if you come into the game late, there is a good chance that you are going to lose the game, and therefore you'll have a losing record. You don't come into a lot of situations where you can hands down win the game. Like the game's not normally tied, you're only trying to close it out and save it. As well as being in the Hall of Fame, he won the saves title twice in 1998 and 2006. He was a 7-time All-Star and won the No Longer Around Rolai's Relief Reward 2 times. So Hoffman has had a very illustrious career. He's a Hall of Famer. Let's look at how his attributes match up with his career. So he has 29 stamina, 110 hits per 9, 120 K per 9, 94 base on balls per 9, 91 home run per 9, 112 pitching clutch, 88 control, 71 velocity, and 99 break. So this Hoffman is going to be as nasty as he was last year. Everyone thought that this Trevor Hoffman was one of the best cards last year. He's going to be a nasty card this year. I think just looking at his hits per 9 and his Ks per 9, he's going to be troublesome. That circle change is really hard to deal with, especially with his cutter and his fastball if you know how to use it. Let alone throwing on the slider and the curveball every once in a while to throw people off. But the fact that his circle change is a primary pitch just makes that pitch very hard to hit. It kind of just floats in the zone. It's very slow. It's almost as annoying as a Clayton Kershaw curveball from his Intra Series last year. Great pitch repertoire, great attributes. Let's look at the quirks real quick. The quirks are sniper, pressure cooker, stingy, untouchable control artist, grounded, and illusionist. So the illusionist is really big, because that means that his changeup is going to be super effective, as I've already mentioned, which will cause some problems for people. With his really high attributes, the fact that you just have to grind the game to get this card, and he's going to be in everybody's bullpen. So guys, get used to facing this guy if you're playing somebody online. Whether it's in events if he's an option or in ranked seasons, he is just going to be one of the nastier closing pitchers. I'm glad they waited a little bit this year to release him compared to almost everybody had him at the beginning of the year last year. Instead we have to deal with Raleigh fingers. I don't know which one's better to have to deal with. But this Hoffman's going to be a guy you see often. So get used to it. I'm going to give him 4.5 Chewies because he is a nasty closing pitcher. He's 4 free. The only real downside to Trevor Hoffman is he doesn't throw that hard. So when you get some better hitters, especially on like All-Star, where, like I said, most of the player population is, with him not throwing that hard, blow the ball past people, you're going to have to rely more on a hit-to-contact thing, and it seems that with some of the RNG and whatnot in the game on All-Star, that some guys just get hit hard. I know he does have good hits per 9 at 110, but this Hoffman could get lit up on lower difficulties. At the higher difficulties, he's going to be lights out. So we're going to give him 4.5 Chewies. Once you've unlocked the Trevor Hoffman, you're going to move on to 55 program points. It's going to give you 3,000 stubs. At 60 program points, it's going to give you a 20 bundle plus a gold player or better topper. So there's a big chance to hit big here. It's kind of like the lottery, though. Not everyone gets to win. At 65 program points, you're going to get 3,500 XP. At 70 program points, you're going to get another 2 random headliners plus 2,000 XP. The headliners are from sets 1 through 31. And then at 75 program points, you're going to get the first 99 overall on this All-Timers program reward path. And that's going to be a 99 overall Tom Seaver. Let's go look at this card and give him his Chewie review. Tom Seaver. 99 overall, Cy Young from 1973, Tom Seaver, starting pitcher for the New York Mets. He was an absolute stud in real life, and he's always been a stud in this game. Now we're going to look at this card in a second here. But let's go over his career statistics in 1973 first. He had a win-loss record of 19-10, an ERA of 2.08, where he won the ERA title. He's an ERA plus of 175, a whip of 0.976. Yes, sub 1 as a starting pitcher. Absolutely redonkulous. He had 251 strikeouts. He pitched 18 complete games, had 3 shutouts, and had a WAR of 10.4 as a starting pitcher. Just ridiculous. In this year, he was an All-Star, won the Cy Young. In this year, he was an All-Star, won the Cy Young, finished 8th in MVP voting, and as I mentioned, he won the ERA title. Also, if people don't know, Tom Seaver had an amazing career. He's inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1992. He's considered one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So this is one of his best years as a pitcher, but he was just ridiculous his whole career. If you don't believe me, go look up some of his career statistics, and you'll be like, wow, this dude really knew how to throw a baseball. So he's a right-handed thrower. He bats right-handed. He has a 5-pitch repertoire in his card, a 4-seam fastball, sinker, slider, 12-6 curve, and a changeup. He's going to throw about 98 miles an hour. He's going to throw about 98 miles an hour with his 4-seam fastball. He does have a sinker as his first secondary pitch. It's going to go about 95. That's very important in this game. As you guys know, the sinker is probably the strongest pitch in the game. And then he does have a good slider that moves a lot from right to left. And then the 12-6 curve and changeup have a great change of pace when it comes to speed from the 4-seam fastball. So he has one of the best pitch repertoires in the game. On top of a great pitch repertoire, let's look at his actual attributes. He has 122 stamina, 98 hits per 9, 105 K per 9, 88 base on balls per 9, 81 home run per 9, 125 pitching clutch, 88 control, 83 velocity, and 93 break. So I think they blue balled Tom Seaver here. 98 hits per 9? I told you his whip was 0.976. How's he even 98 hits per 9? That doesn't even make sense. His hits per 9 should be somewhere in the 110s. I know that would make him probably the most overpowered starting pitcher in the game, per se. But if you're going to take the 1973 Tom Seaver, not a Signature Series card, you got to make it relative to what the stats are that year. I mean, he has one of the best whips in the history of Major League Baseball that season, and you're going to give him 98 hits per 9. It's disappointing. The rest of the card looks pretty good based on what his statistics were for the season. Hits per 9, he got robbed. I don't like it, but I'm not going to let it affect the rating of this card too much because his pitch repertoire is still nasty and 98 hits per 9 is still very good. Let's look at his quirks. His quirks are pressure cooker, unbreakable, workhorse, stingy, untouchable, control artist, grounded, sinker baller, knee buckler. So the sinker baller and knee buckler are going to be very important for this Tom Seaver. That means his sinker is going to be very effective. His 12-6 curve and his slider are going to be effective. So that's going to make his pitch repertoire even better than what it already is. And as I mentioned, the sinker is one of the better pitches. So maybe they made his hits per 9 a little bit lower, but they gave him the sinker baller. Maybe that was a trade-off. They didn't want to make him like too strong. Either way, the hits per 9 at 98 does this man no justice for the year he had statistically in real life. It really doesn't matter, though. The only thing that does is prevent this Tom Seaver from being a 5 Chewie card. I'm going to officially give this Tom Seaver 4.5 Chewies. If his hits per 9 were a little bit higher, which they should have been based on his whip for the year, I would give him 5 Chewies hands down. That 98 hits per 9, I just can't do it to give him the 5 Chewies. Even though he's a great pitch repertoire, we're going to have to go solid here at 4.5. And I just really think SDS didn't do him a solid when it comes to his hits per 9. After Tom Seaver, you're going to get 85 points. So instead of it going by 5s, it's going to go by 10s after Tom Seaver to get to this Babe Ruth at the end. And at 85 points, you're going to get a Ducks on the Pond Elite Pack. I've done a Chewie review of this Elite Ducks on the Pond pack. Check it out on the channel. That way you guys can kind of see what's in it, see what the cards are, and who you should pick within that pack. At 95 program points, you get a nameplate of Babe Ruth. And then at 100 points, you get the Great Bambino Babe Ruth 99 overall MVP from 1923. Let's go in and give him his Chewie review. Babe Ruth. So you guys thought that Tom Seaver had a really good year pitching. This Babe Ruth year, when it came to using the baseball bat, was ridiculous. This card is a 1923 99 overall MVP Babe Ruth, primary position of right field. He can also play first base, left field, and center field. He's left-handed throwing, left-handed batting, diamond hitting, gold defense. This season in 1923, whenever Babe Ruth won the MVP, he batted .393 with an on-base percentage of .545, a slugging of .764, an OPS of 1.309, an OPS plus of .239. Yes, I did not stutter there. 239. And then he had total bases of 399. He had 151 runs. Both had led the league. He had 41 home runs, which also led the league. 130 RBIs. He had 170 base on balls, and he struck out only 93 times. He also had a WAR of 14.1. That might be one of the highest WARs ever in a singular season. He just was ridiculous. The only award he won this year was the MVP. They didn't have like a Silver Slug or anything like that yet. As well as Babe Ruth was one of the inaugural first 5 into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936. As you guys know, Babe Ruth was the first member of the 7 home run club. He hit 714 of them bad boys, and he was just considered the greatest power hitter to ever do it. Now, I went over his stats in real life, and you know they're ridiculous. So let's get into his hitting attributes, which I think are also pretty ridiculous. He has 125 contact versus righty, 121 contact versus lefty, 120 power versus righty, 112 power versus lefty with 86 vision, 125 clutch, 125 discipline, and then he has 75 fielding, 84 arm strength, 82 arm accuracy, 67 reaction with 60 speed, 43 stealing, and 69 base running aggressiveness. So this might be one of the fastest Babe Ruths they've ever had at 60 speed. He might actually be relatively serviceable in the outfield, particularly left field, but even in right field with 84 arm strength, he might be okay in his primary position. I think this is a guy, whenever I unlock this Babe Ruth, I'll probably put him at first base, to be honest. I don't know, though, with 67 reaction and 75 fielding, if that's good enough at first base. I might try him in the outfield, too. But this is a guy that's going to have to be in your lineup. I mean, he is the best hitter in the game, if not top 3, probably. I mean, you can't argue with the attributes. Everyone knows he has a very good swing. The 86 vision is kind of disappointing. I guess it's because, like I said, he struck out 93 times. But he also did walk a lot. He still batted .393. He had a good on-base percentage, so I think his vision should actually be a little bit higher. But if you make it higher, he becomes hands down probably the best card in the game. And I'm not sure if they wanted to make a for-free card the best card in the game. Let's look at his quirks. Quirks are hitting machine, bomber, 20/20 vision, walker, sniper, pressure cooker, and unbreakable. So obviously he has the best hitting quirks, and then he has sniper for the field. I really like this Babe Ruth. He's 100% free, just have to play the game a lot. He's like that Vlad Guerrero 99 overall from last year. I think everyone knows where this is going. Babe Ruth is going to get 5 Chewies. You can't even argue. He has to be in your lineup. You're going to have to put him in one of the corner outfield positions or first base. And he's going to be in pretty much everybody's lineup once they grind this out. For as much grinding as it's going to take to get this Babe Ruth, I think it's really worth it. I think this is one of the best player programs they've done so far. This all-timers program here. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video of the all-timers player program reward path review, as well as some of the moments, and we went over all 4 of the cards that you unlock within this reward path and gave them a Chewie review. Remember guys to comment, like, and share this video, and you guys have a great day and be safe.